For millennia, India has been a land of deep philosophical inquiry where sages and scholars pondered the nature of reality, knowledge, and the ultimate purpose of human existence. The six classical schools of Indian philosophy, known as the Shaddarshans or Six Visions, emerged as distinct yet interwoven perspectives on these fundamental questions. Rooted in the Vedic tradition, these schools offer unique yet complementary paths towards understanding the universe and achieving liberation or moksha. They are Nyaya, Vaisheshik, Samkhya, Yoga, Mimamsa, and Vedanta. Let's understand these schools in further detail. Nyaya is the school of logic and reasoning. Founded by sage Gautam in the 2nd century BC, Nyaya is the school of logic and epistemology. It asserts that the path to true knowledge or Jnana lies in precise reasoning and structured augmentation or argumentation. The Nyaya system identifies four reliable means of knowledge, also called as pramans. The first is perception or pratyaksh, second is inference or anuman, third is comparison or upma, and verbal testimony is the fourth one, also called as shabda. Nyaya is a deeply theistic school of philosophy, arguing that a supreme being, Ishwar, exists and serves as the moral governor of the universe. It is often compared to Aristotelian logic in the West and has significantly influenced Indian jurisprudence, debate, and even modern scientific reasoning. The second school of philosophy is Vaisheshik, also called as the school of atomism and metaphysics. Founded by sage Kanad around the 6th century BC, Vaisheshik is a school of naturalism that examines the fundamental building blocks of reality. It posits that all physical objects are composed of indivisible particles called anu or atoms, which combine in various ways to create the diversity of existence. This school classifies reality into seven categories or padarths, including substance, quality, motion, generality, particularity, and inherence. Vaisheshik, like Nyaya, acknowledges the existence of a divine being responsible for the orderly arrangement of atoms, which means it accepts the possibility of God. This school is significant because it represents one of the earliest atomic theories in human history, predating even Democritus' atomic theory in ancient Greece. The next school of philosophy is Samkhya, the school of dualism and enumeration. Attributed to sage Kapil or Kapil Muni, Samkhya is one of the oldest philosophical systems in India, dating back to at least the 7th century BC. It presents a dualistic worldview where reality is composed of two fundamental entities: Purush, which is pure consciousness, and Prakriti, which is primordial matter or dead matter. Samkhya explains the evolution of universe through the interaction of Prakriti's three gunas or qualities: Sattva, which is balance, Rajas, which is activity, and Tamas, which is inertia. Unlike Nyaya and Vaisheshik, Samkhya is traditionally atheistic and does not propose a creator god. Instead, it believes that liberation or moksha is attained by realizing the separation of Purush from Prakriti and identifying ourselves as Purush, thereby freeing the self from suffering. The next school of philosophy is Yoga, the school of spiritual discipline and meditation. Yoga, as systematized by Maharshi Patanjali in his Yoga Sutras in 2nd century BC, builds upon Samkhya but introduces the concept of a personal god or Ishwar. It provides a practical roadmap to self realization through an eightfold path, also known as Ashtanga Yoga. These 8 stages are Yam, which is ethical restraints, Niyam, which is personal observances, Asan or physical postures, Pranayam or breath control, Pratyahar or withdrawal of senses, Dharana, which is concentration, Dhyan, meditation, and finally Samadhi, which is ultimate absorption. Yoga philosophy asserts that through disciplined practice, the mind can be stilled and one can experience Samadhi, a state of pure consciousness. This school has had a profound impact on both Indian spiritual traditions and global wellness movements. The fifth school of thought is Mimamsa, the school of rituals and dharma. Founded by sage Jaimini around the 4th century BC, Mimamsa is a deeply ritualistic school that upholds the authority of the Vedas. Unlike other schools that focus on metaphysics or liberation, Mimamsa is concerned with dharma or duty as prescribed by the sacred texts or Vedas. Mimamsa philosophers argue that Vedic rituals have an inherent power to bring about specific effects independent of any deity. This makes the school largely atheistic as it places emphasis on karma or action rather than divine intervention. The meticulous interpretation of Vedic texts developed within Mimamsa has significantly influenced Hindu law and religious practice. And finally, the sixth school of knowledge is Vedanta, the school of ultimate knowledge and self realization. Vedant, derived from the Upanishads and systematized by Badrayan Rishi in 5th century BC, is the most influential of all the six schools of philosophy. It explores the nature of Brahman or ultimate reality and its relationship with Atman, the individual self. Vedant has three major sub schools. The first one is Advait Vedant or non dualism. Founded by Adi Shankaracharya, this school holds that Brahman alone is real and the world is an illusion or Maya. Liberation occurs when one realizes the unity of Atman and Brahman. The second sub-school within Vedanta is Vishishta Advait Vedant or qualified non-dualism. Propounded by Ramanujacharya, it argues that the soul and the world are real but dependent on Brahman. Devotion or bhakti to God leads to liberation. And the third sub-school within Vedanta is Dvaita Vedant. Developed by Madhvacharya, this school asserts that God and individual souls are eternally distinct or different. Salvation is possible only through devotion to God. Vedant has shaped much of Hindu spirituality, influencing movements like Bhakti, Neo-Vedant, and modern interpretations of Indian philosophy. Today, around the world, 99.9% of Hindus knowingly or unknowingly follow the Vedanta school of philosophy. The six schools of Indian philosophy are not isolated systems but rather different lenses through which reality is understood. While Nyaya and Vaisheshik emphasize logic and metaphysics, Sankhya and Yoga focus on self realization through discipline. Mimamsa underscores the importance of ritual action, whereas Vedanta offers a path to transcendence through knowledge and devotion. Even today, these philosophical traditions continue to inspire thinkers, spiritual seekers, and scholars around the world. Whether through the logical rigor of Nyaya, the meditative discipline of Yoga, or the spiritual profundity of Vedant, the Shad Darshans remain a testament to India's unparalleled intellectual heritage. Thank you so much for listening.